welcome to another WIP IT Sunday, everyone, and happy Father's Day, and happy Juneteenth, and hope everyone's doing a good day, good time today.
Emancipation Proclamation.
I'm joined tonight with my friend Don. He does beautiful. The man with the scissors and the sewing. He does a fantastic job at that. Don Sawyer.
Greetings.
And
good morning.
Looks like it's just us for now, so I got plenty of stuff to get caught up on. I'm trying to redo. I got another black heart I need to work on building. I built one of them for my buddy, and he's got some of the parts for the second one. When he sent the other one, I haven't got around to building it out. I need to work on it. I also got a DCUC Prime that I built a while back, and I just wasn't happy. So when I was offline, I was talking to Don. It's like, when I see something other, I get hyper focused on it, and I ended up stripping the torso apart on the DCUC style Prime I made, and redoing the chest armor and some other stuff, and clearance and stuff better too. Some of these DCUC figures were a pain in the butt to clearance for paint rub, because they're very hard to take apart, and if you don't really break them down completely, it's hard to clearance them. So I was doing a little bit of work on it, try to get it ready back for primer. No pun intended.
Man, I only did the two. The one, I've only made one custom out of the McFarlane stuff. I don't really have a whole lot of his stuff.
Yeah. Well, this is the old Mattel Despero, the base body. I made this after I made my original custom Prime. Because I bought the Despero. It's basically the prototype. My original concept before I even made the other Prime was to use the Despero body, because they didn't have the Caliban before.
Right.
So after I did that, I thought it'd be kind of neat to basically, this was my original concept. See how it turned out. It looked pretty good. It's just I had clearance issues, and I didn't like how the P logo turned out too. So I redid it, stripped it, and redone it.
Careful facing them flaws.
Yeah. To make the arms, instead of using the Despero arms, I modified some Apache Chief arms that fit into the Despero torso to give it the big bulky arms the Prime needs. Took a hobby knife and Dremel and just cut down the pegs to match the size of the Despero ones, so they can interchange those.
How long has excuse my terminology here, but how long has the
Ultraverse?
Yeah. How long has that been dead?
I guess late 90s, almost 2000. They were bought out by Marvel.
Yeah, right.
And Marvel kept them going for a while. They didn't know how to. For some reason, Marvel's had to want to change everything about them. Of course, they never really wanted to buy Malibu. They didn't want DC to buy Malibu. DC was all set to buy it. Then Marvel jumped in and bought it out from under them. And stuff like that's one of the things that put Marvel in the red too.
Yeah. The reason they went bankrupt.
Yeah. It used to be the rumor for the longest time. The reason why they wouldn't use the Ultraverse characters, they said, look, the licensing right.
I did watch your stream for the giveaway, and I am excited about getting a Man of War.
Oh yeah.
I don't think he's ever seen a figure.
Sorry, my internet keeps blinking out. So I got to call Comcast this week. This past 3 or 4 days, my signal keeps dropping. I'm hardwired in. I'm not using wireless.
Good luck with the Comcast, man.
Yeah.
Not the best. None of them are great. None of them are great.
Yeah, I've had no problems with them until recently.
As long as everything's working fine, mine is great. But if I got to call somebody, they're like, "Did you turn it off and turn it back on?"
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
sometimes.
I am looking forward to like I said, the XON War. Something about that design. I never really read the books that much, but I always liked that design.
I just remember playing that Ding Dang Dong Iron Man Exo Man War video game.
Yeah.
One of the very first Iron Man games I ever got to play. So I didn't never really read any of them either, but I have a strong nostalgia factor for that game one, and
Yeah.
I did do a dive into the character about 3 years ago. Learned a lot about who it was and everything about it.
He's an ancient warrior, and we found out he's
pretty much a caveman.
Yep, had to readjust to the modern era.
Captain America thought he had it bad.
Yeah, and I got thinking about it too. It's like the origins for the Exo-Man armors very similar to the Guyver from the manga. That's when it's in its dormant mode, it looks similar. It's like that little round thing with a silver spear in the middle, and
yeah, it seems like almost every armored character has some kind of symbol on their chest. But I guess that just is par for the course since Superman did it and it was popular.
Yeah.
Although, have you noticed how all DC characters have strong symbolism, and they have their symbols, like the Flash, the lightning bolt, the S, the bat, the C for cyborg, but Marvel heroes don't really have that.
Yeah, the Hulk, about the closest thing. They start using that fist symbology.
Yeah.
Kevin is like a Conan with a Guyver armor, basically. Yeah.
Thor has an okay one, and Spider-Man has a good one, but Spider-Man's the only one with a good one.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of Marvel characters with symbolism, logo type things.
So for my Iron Man tattoo, it's the arc reactor with initials in the middle of it.
The Flash. The Flash has got the iconic circle, and it's basically almost like the Flash Gordon Flash circle with the Flash, but the circle with the lightning bolts, and like Captain Marvel, or they call him Shazam now. Look at the big lightning bolt on his chest. And Wonder Woman, her top of her bustier or armor, or whatever you want to call it, it's got the W symbol. Some of them it's just a W. Some of it's got the W with an eagle head in the center.
Yeah.
To be from an Amazonian island, her costume was very patriotic.
Yeah. I like how they explained that shit away. It was like, oh, well, she's going to be an emissary to this land, and she will wear their colors to show that she is not in opposition to them. I'm like,
right.
Where I'm from, if you wear another soldier's uniform, that's breaking the Geneva Conventions there, bro.
Yeah. I guess our other friends are out with Father's Day stuff today.
Yeah. Everybody. My girls aren't here yet. They're still in Texas. Boy, that's scary than being in Texas, man. That last shooting was there.
Yeah.
There's there's I work in law enforcement, and there's a strong push, for weapons and stuff. But
Yeah.
and school shootings keep getting closer and closer to my babies. I'm about ready to get rid of all of my rights. I'm getting scared, man.
Yeah. Well, Hulk Smash has been trying to come in, but he's having issues. He's asking if something wrong with StreamYard. Oh, there he is.
Hooray!
There you are. Can,
Say it, don't spray it.
well, he was having like audio issues last night. Are you there? Hello.
In the words of the great Bruce Willis, welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah, that's sad about his learn about his aphasia.
Yeah, that's well.
It makes sense why he was doing all those terrible movies just to build up some cash.
Everybody has their time. Everybody's gonna go.
Yep.
You can't do everything forever. And what did Doctor Who say? What was it Tom? What was his name? The really good doctor, the 11th one, I think. David Tennant.
Yeah.
He said the reason he left Doctor Who was because you don't want to outlive your welcome. You want to leave while people still want to see you, so they fondly remember you.
Oh yeah. Hello. Can you hear us?
How you guys doing?
Doing all right. But I thought you might have been doing some Father's Day stuff.
Yeah.
Doing some sanding on where I'm redoing the chest for the DCUC style Prime.
Yeah.
You working on anything, Mr. Smash?
No. Right now I'm just relaxing now.
I felt dumb earlier. I shot a video when all those Hulk heads are painted up. Let's just do a quick custom video.
Bye.
Then sit down to edit the video. I didn't realize I didn't turn the lights on 100%, and I get that wave pattern through the video's useless. I kind of reshoot the whole thing. What do I use to sculpt? Different things. I use A's Fix It. I got A's Epoxy Sculpt. I use Procreate. And green stuff. It's all depending on what I'm wanting to do at the time. So if you use Procreate and green stuff, I recommend getting some of the green stuff Sculptor's Vaseline, because green stuff and Procreate is very sticky. And if you're trying to work it with your tools, it keeps sticking to your tools. So you just dip your tool in the. Oh, and put. Yep.
Slow down, man. Giggity.
Mill putt. I've used it for filling pinholes and stuff. I still use it too. When I make a casting of something end up getting an air bubble stuff, I'll mix up some mill putt and just fill in the pinholes.
Oh, Millie putt.
There's a lot of people that used to swear by milliput.
Yeah.
It was the first thing I ever used, but that was just because it was readily available.
Yeah, you can go to any hobby store and pick up milliput.
Hell, I found it at the hardware store.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man, anywhere. Anywhere.
One of the diecast guys I watch, Diecast Resurrection, and he uses JB Weld, like
Really?
like that epoxy stuff, like the heat stuff, and I'm surprised how well he works with that. Of course, he's grinding most of it down with a. Before it hardens up all the way, he'll take a knife and start shaving it to shape. Then he sands it and grinds it the rest of the way.
What was that? Remember that commercial? The guy passed away. He used to do those commercials, like that stick it pad that prevents leaks and stuff like that. Oxy.
Yeah.
You remember?
Oh, Billy Mays.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Bill Mays.
They had the sculpting compound that it's almost like a 2-part. And a lot of people were wondering if that would actually work on figures.
I don't know. Kevin's talking about the green stuff. He's heard for good hair. It is if you mix it up a little differently, like what was the whole? What you were saying, like a 70-30%, and it's like keeps it flexible.
Is it 70-30 to keep it flexible?
Yeah. Yeah, Flex Seal.
All right, the Gobi Customs.
He's been summoned. He beat me to it. Oh, there he is. I need to summon me. Oh, he already said it.
Yeah.
I remember when I first started this, I had a hard time convincing myself that what I was doing was customizing.
Oh, it's definitely customizing.
I would always ask me, like, can I post this here? Is this customizing?
Yeah, when I started my YouTube, I was like, man, should I be posting this stuff on these groups? I never was one to toot my own horn, and so.
I forgot to tell you.
Yeah, I was never one to really toot my own horn, so they're gonna start doing like these videos and stuff. It's like, wasn't sure what to do.
Well, why not? You're helping people out.
Yeah.
Ah, there
I
he
have
is.
been summoned. For 1,000 years, I have slept.
Buddy, you got kids. You haven't slept for a day.
Give me 1,000 years you slept. Wake your ass up. You got some customizing to do.
You'd be lucky if you get a solid 3 hours when you got the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind 1,000 years.
Well, I was talking earlier. I felt silly earlier, like when I shot the video on like those Hulk heads. I was gonna put on the channel. I forget when I take my photos for like the thumbnail. I turn the brightness down on my lights where I shoot the videos, so the colors are not blown out, and they look great. But if you don't turn them back up to 100% when you shoot the video, you get those like wave lines, constant wave lines in the video.
Yeah.
So it's like completely unusable footage. It's like, damn it, now I gotta reshoot the whole thing.
So, tried something new today. Any of you,
Yeah, I've seen some of those. If you believe eBay, head swaps are customs and very expensive.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Dagobi.
oh no, I couldn't even tell. I didn't know if you could hear me. Now, you ever seen the Amazing Yamaguchi, the way they do the joints?
Yeah.
So I took a Marvel Legend and it didn't have a decent bend in the elbow. So I did the Amazing Yamaguchi divot in there. And it gives me almost better than 90-degree bend now.
Oh, nice.
And it doesn't really break up the aesthetic too much.
Got Marvel Gucci now.
Did you see that guy that modified the new retro symbiote Spider-Man? He like shaved down the back of the legs and everything else.
Oh, he did the same thing?
Yeah, he like shaved the back of the thighs all the way down. Kind of made it look like that the Sentinel Spider-Man, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, he shaved down the biceps and cut could have deep divot into here to, get that full all the way lay it flat bend on the knees and the thighs. And while it ain't no joke, there was some crazy ass articulation on that bad boy.
Well,
I
that's what
just
I did.
I just don't know. It just changed the look of it
I mean,
too much for me.
I got a lot of import figures, so I'm used to that look. For me, it's like I want to see if it works, and I mean, yeah, it does, man. So,
and I used to always say, "Oh, who cares? It's just a $15 figure," but now they're like $30.
Oh, so speaking of that, guys, my old Sodom Numspa dropped some knowledge on me the other day. He was searching Amazon and he looked at the very bottom. Is it'll say damaged goods or used.
Oh.
And it'll be brand new stuff, and all it is the boxes are damaged. He got that Spider-Man for $6.
Oh, sweet.
Oh, so it's just the packaging that's damaged.
That's it. And so Amazon has an area at the bottom. He said he scrolled all the way down to the bottom and he just started looking around. And he said it just says damage. So be on the lookout and you can find some good deals.
Oh,
Everyone's gonna be with a magnifying glass on Amazon now.
well, check your Walgreens too. All the Walgreens exclusives the past few 2 years it's supposed to came out. They're now getting stores and they're automatically on clearance because they're no longer in the systems.
Oh, is that what's going on?
Yep.
I can't even find Marvel Legends at my Walgreens anymore. I have to go 15 miles up north.
Yeah, I was shocked, and I found Binary the other day, and it rang up for $1.
Yeah, she's going for
$30. Damn, I couldn't wait. I bought her on eBay for $28.
Hey
I
guys,
think
got
more prosperous than my regular one. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No. I was just saying, hey, on the bright side to all you guys, I got no Walgreens, so I don't know what that feels like.
I do not have a Walgreens either. I don't have one within 45 minutes of where I live. They just don't make them up here in Pennsylvania, man.
It's sad because I got about 6 or 7 of them within about 10 minutes, anywhere between 10 minutes to 15, 20 minutes ride, and I can't find any of them. I have to go way up north, almost on the border of Wisconsin, to closer to where Great America and Gurnee is at, in order to actually find anything if I want anything.
Oh, dang.
Trade you 2 Rite Aids for a Walgreens.
He said 2 Rite Aid. Don't nobody want no goddamn Rite Aid.
Damn, I don't even know if we got Rite Aids over here anymore.
Didn't Rite Aid get bought out?
Walgreens bought them things out, bro, and they just won't. They're like, nah, Pennsylvania don't deserve Walgreens. We're just leave them with some Rite Aids. They'll be all right. They use CVS anyway.
I couldn't remember if it was CVS or Walgreens that bought out Rite Aid. I thought there was used to be a Rite Aid across the road from my office, and I was like, "Oh, that'd be cool." They're probably going to. I remember after you said that, it's like the Walgreens bought them out. So maybe they'll turn it into Walgreens. I have an extra place to hit for Legends. Nope, they closed it down.
Nope.
We don't need this.
Jared, is it too late for me to put my hashtag in for the Juggernaut?
You can put it in.
Let's see how many people actually do that today. Now that I said it.
Yeah.
Can I get in on that?
You opened up the floodgates.
Hashtag Prime Custom.
Oh, yeah.
Lord, man, that'll be the timeline for the next 2 hours.
Which one?
The Prime figure you're working on.
Oh, that's which one?
Yeah, remember he's doing Prime. What was it? You're doing Prime Evil now too, ain't you?
That's another one I'll be doing too, and I got Rogue Prime too in the works.
Yeah, the best. The best. Like you said that.
You gonna make a Spider Prime?
Yeah, one I won't do. That's one of those Marvel stupid things they did when they bought the Ultraverse.
Yeah. You can't call yourself a completionist without one.
That's all right.
Oh, you take that hit? All right.
I'll take
Might
that.
might be a good thing that Hasbro hasn't picked up a license and Marvel ain't distributing that out. They probably put bunny slippers on Prime.
If you'd ever get them, man, at the rate they putting stuff out, like, hey, you can see it all, but you'll never get it.
You can. It'll be available 2026.
It'll go up for pre-order, and you can get it off of eBay at 3 times the price.
With a low starting price of $250.
Which is goddamn wild because it's like it's out, but I can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Sneaky.
It's out somewhere.
Yeah, I see somebody like exclusive Marvel Legends from this one guy on eBay, but he hasn't really kicked anything out. Like when they had the X-Force eBay, the X-Force Deadpool that was that exclusive for the HasCon.
Mm-hmm.
I got it off of him, but he only charged me like $24 at the time when he went to the con, and so I just like put my order in with him, and he actually shipped it out to me within like a week.
I looked up on. I was so disappointed that the last of BotCon before Hasbro like pulled the last one. I guess it was the official BotCon.
Yeah.
And they were doing the car robots repaint of the Transmetal Megatron or Beast Wars. I wanted that so bad. Buddy of mine was there helping a big vendor. He told me he'd pick it up for me, and he got distracted, and they sold out. So it was a local small con the same weekend. I was like, well, I was kind of bummed out, so I went over to check it out. The guy only went to the BotCon for one day and came back to work this one, and he had it. I was like, are you shitting me? And I paid for it, but if I wanted to flip it right afterwards, that thing was selling for like $800.
Uh-huh.
It's calmed down now to about $200-$300 now, but one time it was hot.
Any of those con ones, they always go up in price once they hit the market on eBay.
They ended up releasing it in a few different cons afterwards, so it was still limited, but not as.
So I don't like scalpers.
I got rid of a lot of my Transformers. I've been thinking about selling off a few of the Grimlocks that I have left.
What Grimlock are we talking?
Yeah, just some like super deformed one that I thought was adorable, and maybe that Fans Project one. Since I got the Planet X version.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say the movie one. I didn't get to pick him up when he came out, and I'm paying for it.
Man, I don't want to be like one of those not my prime, but I really didn't like the movie one.
Yeah, the movie ones are either. It's one of those things where you either love it or you hate it.
My problem is I'm a completionist, and I started getting all the movie stuff. Like I have a shelf of third party. I have a shelf of movie, and that's it. Transformers for me now, and I need to finish off my movie stuff, or I'm gonna go nuts. And I forgot to pick up Grimlock. So, but I think Joe's and Marvel Legends, I'm kind of getting more back into that. I'm enjoying them more.
Marvel Legends keep staying the way they are, and the Joes keep going what they are. I might have to sell my whole damn lot off and just go back and go strictly Joes at this rate.
Talking about the prices?
Talking about the quality.
Yeah,
oh yeah, Joe quality is ridiculous
compared to the damn Legends, and that was like their flagship for the
unless it's movie ones, they really like phone in the comic book figures anymore.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like when they started off, when they went away from the 6-inch, decided to go with the Universe line. They focused on that for a while, and then they decided to go over to the Legends line. But I don't know that when you take a look at the Joes and take a look at the Marvel Legends line, there's no comparison right now.
No, man, it's like freaking night and day, man. they definitely are showing well, I mean, you got to think, man, Joe's actually their baby, so.
Well, it depends, right? They got different teams on Hasbro, right? So obviously, you know what, the Joe team is really they really know their shit, man. Like they know what the fans want, you know. So
Right. Yeah.
They're pushing the envelope, that's for sure.
yeah.
Sorry, I checked out there for a moment. We're talking about. I think the reason Hasbro likes GI Joe so well is that like they get to make all the decisions. They don't have to run it by anybody for anything. You know, it's like, hey, this is what we want to do, so this is what we're gonna do.
It's one of the things I didn't understand why in the world they took so long to come out with a collector line for Joe's. It's like, damn, it's your property. You only got to pay no license fees.
Yeah.
No, nothing.
People have been wanting it for years.
Come on.
Yep.
Come on.
I'm waiting for them to go out with a shipwreck. That's one of the ones I'm looking for.
You're right, man. You want Shore Leave from Venture Brothers.
Yeah.
Talking about the Grimlocks.
Yeah, my sorry. Yeah, the Grimlocks. I can't get rid of that Planet X one, and I don't want to get rid of the Hasbro Studio Series one that I have. But I think I'm gonna get rid of all the rest of them.
Okay.
I got an entire shelf of Beast Wars though. What up?
Hey, hold on. Who you? Well, I need only the ones I need for Beast Wars because my wife been on it. Is freaking what Tigertron and
I got Tigertron.
I need Tigertron. I think I need what's his name? God dang. Pterosaur.
Pterosaur. I got Pterosaur too.
And
I had to go out of my way to get that.
Did you? Waspinator was the last one I need.
Are you talking about the new Kingdom Pterosaur was a Amazon exclusive?
Yeah.
That's a nice piece.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the old. Well, it's not the old, but it's the Wasp. No,
It's the Air Razor body, right?
Air Razor body. Yeah, slight rebone. That's good though. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just the OG. Well,
There's
not
no-
OG.
There's enough retooling on that where it looks like a different figure.
That's good. That's always
When
good.
when I got into Transformers, that was what was on the air. What was on the TV was.
I mean, Beast Wars was a good show, man. It like had good writing and everything.
Yeah, it was very well written. The animation, of course, is dated, but there's a guy on YouTube. He's been upscaling to full HD.
Really?
Hey, Crack Cow Mafia.
Shoot me a link on that one.
Oh yeah, I'll hack off. I can pull it up in the chat.
I got a guy that's been trying to pick my brain on customs lately. I'm trying to hide it. I'm just like, dude, if you want help, just let me know, man. Don't be trying to goddamn sneak around me.
Beat around the bush.
Yeah. He's like, well, what would you do in this situation? And I'm like, are you? I'm asking him like, are you actually making this for profit? I mean, I don't care if you are, man. Look, there's enough stuff out there for both of us. It's not like we're some huge base that we're eating each other alive.
Yeah, when I first started, nobody would talk to me about fabric or thread or anything. The first person that would answer any kind of question that I had was Daredevil 19.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah.
He's the only person that would answer any kind of question that I had. I was like, man, sewing machine. I got the sewing machine. It's just not working. Come to find out, it was because it was from the 1930s. And it just didn't work as a general rule. And it's just so pretty much everything that I had to go through, I had to self-teach myself. And I have delusions that I'm going to make a YouTube video on just thread because there's like 7 different kinds of thread and they're specific to stuff that you need to do. And
Yeah.
that was really confused because I would thread up a machine and get 2 stitches in and it would break the thread. And I'm like, what's going on? What am I
Yes,
doing
sir.
wrong?
Yeah,
Nothing. It's
tensile
the
strength on.
thread.
Yep, you are right. I used to work in a furniture factory, so trust me, I know.
And I don't know, it's very frustrating that nobody ever wants to talk to anybody or help anybody out. Like they're going to give up some trade secrets or something. And it's just not, look,
Yep.
anybody can do what I can do. It's hard, but you can do it.
Right.
That's one of the things we talk about a lot on when we get chatting. Like it's like pulling teeth. To get people about how to do custom.
Yeah.
It's all technique. It's not like
No, man, it's ancient Chinese secret. Must be passed
yeah.
down
It's not.
only
It's
to
not
family.
like some skill like a savant is the only people that sew. It's not. It's a trade. It's something like welding. You can learn how to do it.
Yeah.
You can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
It's just so frustrating that nobody. I was a year into this before I actually got good enough to where I could make a pair of pants. And then what was it? Flashpoint was struggling with a pair of pants, and I was like, "Dude, okay, so I know exactly what you're doing wrong or what you're struggling with because I had the same thing, and it's just because the seam needs to bind on the fabric and not the thread. When it binds on the thread, it pulls through every single time. So when you sew it, you need to sew it like this and not like this." And he's like, "Oh my God."
Yeah. Like Jared was the first person to really help me out, man. And I have improved leaps and bounds thanks to this man.
Well, I put a link to that guy that does the upscales, like a lot of old cartoon shows and stuff.
Okay. So you know what, Jared? Happy Customizers Father's Day to you, sir.
I appreciate it.
You the godfather of customs.
I'm just. Are you calling me old?
No,
Absolutely.
man.
Just a term of endearment.
Yeah, there you go.
Old is a term of endearment?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Hey, it means he's
Man, them
knowledgeable.
people at work they must be loving me. The stuff they call me.
And I get that shit all the time at work, so I just take it as a term of endearment even when they call me old.
Anybody call you Unc?
Yep.
Hey, Unc, what's up? Like, man, if you don't shut up.
Well, I don't know how to take this one. I got a recent comment 2 hours ago on my custom Black Widow I did.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but I can't help hear Eugene from The Walking Dead. You both sound alike.
I don't even know who that is.
Really? Eugene, of all people?
Yeah.
Eugene, I can't even remember what the hell that is.
The annoying one.
The
The
guy
really
from
annoying guy. Yep.
Oh,
The
you're
one
talking
who shut
about
up.
the know-it-all guy?
Yeah, from Walking Dead. Yeah, Eugene.
I don't hear it.
Listen, man,
Oh,
just because we country folks don't mean we take endearing to that stuff.
Oh, the mullet.
Tell them, Jared, we ain't like that now.
Well, golly, I don't know what y'all talking about.
Yeah, Jared's a goddamn Yankee, man. He lives up in VA. Worse than my wife.
Pretty sure you're isn't VA Commonwealth?
the Communist Wealth of Virginia. The truckers always call it Virginia like the communist state.
Really?
Yep, because they're so strict on truckers coming through.
Oh, yeah, they are.
Virginia has wrote through laws, too, for like traffic laws.
Mhm.
It doesn't matter if you're out of state, they can still write you tickets.
Mm-hmm.
Like for stuff that's legal in your state, you can still get a ticket for it in Virginia.
Yep.
In
That sounds about right.
Mississippi, the truckers kind of like, I don't know how you would say, they would force the other drivers to obey the law, like in construction zones, where people would just speed down the thing. They'd get over in that lane and dog it off. You're gonna wait like everybody else is waiting.
I like when that happens.
Yeah, I
But
saw
up
them.
here in PA, man, they are fucking lawless. I mean, lawless. I saw one go through a red light doing, I know, at least 50, 60 miles an hour. He was trucking through that red light. It was a CE England truck. I was like, Jesus. I heard the Dukes of Hazzard theme song playing in the background as he went through.
Some good old boys.
Woo.
My
I was like,
big boy
man,
was the band at Eastbound and Down. Loaded up
I'm,
in.
I'm glad I lived in Korea for a number of years, and I always check a red light or green light before I take off.
Yeah, same thing in Italy, man. Shoot, after driving there, man, I'm way more careful now than I ever was driving back in the States because, man, they got some of the best car racers in the world, but man, their local driver population, they are terrible.
That
Terrifying.
bad?
It's terrifying, man.
And
I
I've
wonder
never
why.
seen a place in my lifetime where you can take a 4-lane expressway and turn it into a 6-7 lane.
How are they so bad though? Like, where you in a rush to go to like that?
The reason in Korea, the reason it's so bad is because of their expansion. They expand so fast and to such an extent that if your map is 2 years old, it's worthless. It is so different. The roads are so different than what you're reflecting in that map that you won't be able to find where you're going. So with that rate of progression and that rate of expansion, and then where 1 year only 25 people had cars, the next year 125 had cars, and then 1,025 had cars the following
Oh,
year.
I get you.
All these people are new to driving, so everybody's new to driving, and nobody are seasoned enough to have good habits, good driving habits.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Everybody's just shit drivers in Korea, man. I mean,
Like Kim Jong
you're
here
on
said.
your own. If they look and they don't see anybody by their front tire, they're coming over into your lane.
Oh, yeah.
Holy.
You know,
I was just talking crap about North Carolina's roads. Their maps were horrible for a long time.
So I like
Hey, man,
driving in Germany, man. The Autobahn, easiest driving I've ever done.
Look, man, y'all leave my state out of this.
Jared,
I went to one of the very first BotCons I ever went to. When I was using, that's back when paper maps for GPS. One road in North Carolina, north and south point both. Actually, north point like this. Which way, an arrow pointing both ways both said north.
Yeah. You had to get used to that stuff living here.
What was it?
Biscuit here.
Northwest Brampton.
no,
We still
I'm just waiting. I'm just letting everybody talk, and I'm just waiting for my chance to say, "Hold my beer," right? You guys don't know driving until you come to Brampton.
But
I like that, huh?
Talking about can't drive in those other countries. They live in Brampton.
They live in Brampton, so
I like a challenge. Maybe I'll drive up that way one day.
yeah. Well, you know what? I just showed. I was on my way home to go to do
Watch whatever you want.
the giveaway video, and here I am rushing to get home, and bam! Right where I got to turn to go home, there's an accident. Sending Jerry pictures. Look what I'm dealing with right now. Oh man.
The conversations we have on a customizing channel.
Hey, gotta keep it lively. Cover all areas.
We talk about world politics, religion, government, you name it. I don't know what that has to do with customization, but god dang it, we getting there.
A customization is like life. I don't know where I'm going with that, but that's all I got.
Shit happens, you better fix it.
No, the second episode of Seinfeld, we talk about everything.
Pretty much.
It's a show about customizing, but it's also a show about nothing.
All right, Jared, I got a new intro.
What you got?
Rip some Seinfeld. Hey, or we could always hit it with that. We could do some of that. What's his name? With that tossed salad and scrambled eggs. Frasier.
Oh yeah.
It's Adam Sadler, right? Sandler.
Yeah.
What's his face? The guy that sings, the comedian.
Oh, that's Adam Sandler.
Yeah,
What is Lunch Lady song?
man, that was when I was a kid. I can't
Sloppy
believe he's still
Joe's.
around.
Wow, that's terrible. I mean, his movies ain't gotten no better, man.
Yeah, but you know
Yeah,
what though?
he peaked at like Waterboy.
You know what though? He's doing a lot more serious movies now. Did you see the one he just put out, the basketball one?
Yep.
That's a pretty good one.
He does like all those like comedy movies right there. He affords him the luxury just to just a like low key movie that he just wants to do where he can truly act.
Yeah.
I like watching comedians in horror movies. Like, did you watch Robin Williams and what was it, Insomnia?
Yeah.
That guy was crazy. And what was it, 23 with
Carrie.
Yeah, Jim Carrey? He was crazy. He was whacked out in that movie.
I mean, Jim Carrey.
Very nice.
The funniest thing about Jim Carrey is
You can pull it off though.
Jim Carrey really just proved himself with Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, you know, you want to know what it is though too. Is a lot of these comedians they never get the chance to act serious because everybody wants them to be funny.
Yeah, funny.
You know, and a lot of them get frustrated with that too.
Yep.
I mean, people don't understand they have other talents.
Yep.
They're multifaceted.
Yeah, typecast, right? You get typecast.
There you go. That's the word I was looking for.
It was like at the interview years ago with Jon Stewart when he went on that program. It's like, I'm not here to make you. I'm not your clown.
Yes, you are.
And you know, there was also an award show. I don't know if it was the Oscars. I think Jim Carrey came out to introduce I don't know, the next award or whatever. And as soon as he came out, he didn't even do anything. People just started laughing at him.
Yeah, instinctively.
He was looking at the crowd like, what? Like, I didn't even freaking do anything. You know what I mean? Like, and everyone just kept on laughing. And then when he kind of brought it up, like he was trying to say like, look, I'm not even doing anything. People just thought it was part of his shtick, and they just started laughing more. And he was just like, okay, whatever. Like, you know, like,
yeah.
I could see that being annoying, but
Yeah, it's got to weigh on you.
yeah.
Jim Carrey does Hamlet, everybody laughs.
I still remember Fire Marshal Bill. In living color.
That was a great show. You know, they're talking about bringing it back for like a little bit of a rerun. Not a rerun, but a reunion.
They couldn't do what they used to do, though.
I mean, they could if they did it on Netflix. Look at Dave Chappelle, man. He don't care.
No, that's true. It has to be.
Netflix talked so much hell over Dave Chappelle's last special. I mean, he even said it in the special. He's like, look, Netflix is taking a gamble with this. He says there's going to be some hate come out over this special right here. And he was absolutely right. There was.
Well, it's because he talks about subjects that nobody want to talk about. But that's what comedians do, man. They make you laugh at your faults. They bring out comedians. What comedians do, man, is they take a situation that's a really serious situation and they try to make light of it. So you look at it and you can actually be objective about it without, feeling some kind of way. But you always got them people that's gonna try to turn it into something it ain't.
And if you're easily offended by stuff, don't go to the comedy center.
Right. What you there for? You can't. I'm sorry.
Stuff that you're gonna find uncolorful or
right.
You know who brings that to the table whenever he's doing a show is Ricky Gervais.
Oh yeah,
you know what
or whatever he roasted the entire Hollywood.
Well, yeah, and you know what though, I saw a couple of his stand-ups, and he even says like, you're looking at it all wrong when you're a comedian and you're talking about something, you're talking about it in a different light. Like we don't look at it like this, and we're trying to offend you. We're just trying to make a funny situation out of something that other people wouldn't even think about, right? Like, but he's absolutely right. I was watching, I was like, and he doesn't care, eh? Like he says, well, if you don't like it, don't fucking look.
I mean, I'm down with it though. Like I agree 100%. There's no reason for all this hatred, man. We every now and again you need to find a way to laugh.
At yourself.
Yeah. If you can't laugh at yourself, you can never grow as a person.
You know what?
I tell you what, if life isn't a joke, why is everybody laughing?
I think if everybody actually laughed more than they're bitching about stuff, we'd be in a better place.
Oh yeah.
Probably, my friend. Probably.
Yes, sir.
You guys ever see, who was really underrated? That was a comedian that did really good serious act was Robin Williams.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Anytime he did serious
seriously
stuff.
underrated, because like I remember when he played that serial killer in Insomnia. Man, he was like killer in that movie.
There was something else he did that was real serious that was really good.
I have that. What Dreams May Come. I have that movie.
That movie, man, that movie breaks your goddamn heart.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I love that movie.
When he's going down to get his wife from hell.
Mm-hmm.
He was seriously underrated. I mean, he went to Juilliard, and with him being in Juilliard, he actually delved into every single aspect at the school to the point where the teacher said he was such a prodigy that they couldn't teach him anything anymore because he knew everything already and was already developing beyond their abilities to teach him.
Yeah, he poured himself into his art.
Yep.
I'm so glad you guys are here tonight because my internet is still screwing up. At least the stream keeps going if y'all talking.
You know, one of my buddies, I used to work with him. He told me that talk about this for luck. He went downtown, just walking around doing some shopping. All of a sudden, he walks into the comedies. He goes, you know what? I'm gonna go in there, have a beer. He goes, listen to some jokes, whatever. So he's in there listening to a couple of the comedians, and all of a sudden, doesn't the host of the place go, well, I don't think anybody was really expecting this. He goes, but tonight we got somebody decided to come in just to hear some jokes, but he's agreed to come up and talk to you guys for a little while, and it was Robin Williams.
Oh, that'd have been awesome.
And you want to know something? He said he was going to go up there for a few minutes. He ended up there for like 2.5, almost 3 hours, because he just kept on going. And my friend said, "Man, I paid $10 to get in there. Plus, I had a couple of beers, and I got to watch a Robin Williams show. You know what I mean? It was crazy.
That'd have been epic.
Yeah, $10. I mean, shoot, that's 30 feet for a premier star.
Not to mention, you got a story for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
exactly.
Guys, you ain't gonna believe this shit.
He wouldn't. You know what? He wouldn't. He just wouldn't stop. He just kept on going. He said, "Yeah, I'll go up there for about half an hour or so." Yeah, right.
I see a lot of times that's also them getting stuff off their chest.
Yep.
That's also how they get to vent. They can vent while making you laugh.
Yeah, well, that's just it. A lot of these comedians, they go up there with their act, but you want to know something? They just pick shit up along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they do a lot of ad lib.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Robin Williams was a master of that.
Oh yeah.
That's like Gabriel Iglesias. What is it? He tells a lot of his life stories.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about Fluffy?
Yeah.
He cracks me the hell up.
Anything with him and Martine, it's about to be good. Martine.
Like him and who was that? Lopez. What's his name? Lopez.
George Lopez.
Oh, he's hilarious, man.
Yeah.
You know them two don't like each other?
Tell a lot of that is life experience.
Them two don't get along like that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I know, but I don't know. I love them both, but man, George Lopez, I don't know. I've always had he cracks me up. I can't, especially his old stuff. It just
oh yeah,
the team leader. I have it on CD. Sometimes I'll just pop it in the damn truck and just listen to it when I'm having a bad day when I'm driving to work.
That one out for you. Completely disappeared. It was Carlos Mencia.
Yeah, he did disappear. You're right.
Where he got busted stealing everybody's routines.
Yeah, it was that whole thing with stealing routines, and he just caught so much flack that he just became kind of a pariah.
But wasn't people saying
his entire persona was completely fake too? Because he's not even Mexican.
Nope, he's Puerto Rican or something, I think.
He's like half German. It's like he's not even.
I heard he was accusing George Lopez of stealing his stuff.
Yeah, he did. That was a big beef between the two of them.
I don't know, but George has been doing that. George was doing all that stuff way before Mencia even got big.
I mean, George is one of the Latin kings of comedy, so
Exactly.
he was recognized way before Mencia even showed up on the planet.
I don't even know if Mencia was actually even in the game when he was doing his thing.
I don't think so. No.
Because I think Mencia just when he started getting his rise to fame, and George was already at the top of his game.
Yeah. Do y'all remember Bill Hicks?
Yep.
Sounds familiar.
That dude got me through high school and middle school. Man, Bill Hicks, the stuff Bill Hicks talked about was great though. Like Bill Hicks would tell you, he talked about political stuff a lot, but everything he talked about was true and funny. You should, if you get a chance, just look up any of Bill Hicks' skits.
What about George Carlin?
Oh my God, George Carlin, Dennis Leary. Man, I used to love Dennis Leary.
George Carlin, the master.
Yep.
Yeah.
When he passed, we lost.
Yep.
Yeah.
We lost
Richard
the
Pryor.
Charles. When Dave Chappelle passes, we're gonna lose another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
That
Guys
guy's
ain't scared.
it's a genius, man. He's a smart man.
He knew to get out of Hollywood too.
Who?
Dave Chappelle.
Well, yeah.
No, he dipped because Comedy Central was fucking him over.
Oh yeah.
Well, he asked them for a certain amount of money to be donated to charities and stuff. Because he's like, look, y'all making this much off of me. I want to give something back. And they were like, no. So he's like, oh, okay, well, bye.
And they made up all that bull crap about him, like to try to basically defame him for a long time.
Yeah.
Do you guys like Ron White?
Oh yeah.
Ron White, man.
Tater salad.
Oh, tater salad, man. I think my favorite line was when he was talking about when he got arrested for being drunk in public, and he told the cops, he's like, "Well, I wasn't drunk in public. I was in the bar drunk, but they threw me out."
Yeah. You guys remember John Panette?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I remember John Panette. He's still one of my favorites.
You know what, man? I tell you, that guy, he left too soon, man.
One of his last shows was at the Beau Rivage in Mississippi, and I saw him up on the billboard, and I thought, him being one of my all-time favorite comedians, I'm going to go down there and watch that. But then, life catches up with you, and I had to work and everything else, and I missed it. And he died like 6 months later.
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
And I was like, damn, man.
Oh, Sam Kinison.
Yeah.
Oh, Sam Kinison was awesome.
Used to crack me up. I used to like Dice back in the day, Andrew Dice Clay.
Hey, Dice Clay. Hey.
Yeah, talk about offending people, eh?
Hey. Yo, he killed me. Dice Clay was nuts.
You know what?
Yeah.
That guy didn't care. That guy was banned from so many places.
Oh yeah, he actually went after one of the fans because they were heckling him in the back.
Who was the one chick that pretended to be his sister? Wasn't she on Living Color?
Can't remember that.
There was a female. It was a blonde comedian chick that basically said she was Andrew Dice Clay's little sister, and she would come out and do stuff similar to his.
Oh,
and
really?
it would be just as raunchy.
Was it Rhonda?
I don't remember, man. I remember some of the jokes, and I remember her coming out in that leather jacket. She had a leather jacket, the red bustier, and then tight black pants on.
You said Rhonda. It's made me think about was it USA Network? They used to have like the
You up all night?
Rhonda Shear.
Yeah, up all night.
Taking it back, ain't she?
Chris Rock's pretty good too.
I don't know if Rhonda Shear's back. I don't even know if she can hold that candle anymore.
Yeah.
Chris Rock is funny though. So funny he got slapped by Will Smith.
Yeah.
Over a joke that wasn't even funny.
Yeah, G.I. Jane joke, man.
The bad part is she could have fit the part.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna make that joke no more when Will's around.
You know what though? Stand up.
I did like the fact that when that dude attacked Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock ran out and said, "Was that Will Smith?"
Mm.
You talking about? Oh yeah, that dude that jumped on Dave Chappelle got stomped out by Busta Rhymes and somebody else.
His arm was bent backwards.
And I don't know if you've seen how big Busta Rhymes is nowadays. That joker is a monster.
He put on about
been a bit
80
more.
pounds. He's huge now.
Yeah, and it's all muscle.
Yeah.
I was watching because like him and Timberland both was I watched the thing because him and Timberland both went through a big bout of depression and they got real big and they were like the only thing they could do was hit the gym. They said that's what got them out of it. So they turned they fat into muscle. So you know, I mean, you've seen some of the heavyweight guys. They look kind of pudgy, but god dang if they can't pick up a house.
Yeah, because Buster was big when he did the Masked Singer. He was kind of overweight.
Yeah,
I think it was sometime after that was when he started hitting that gym, and he's a monster.
Yep.
I mean, he was always a big guy to begin with, but he's even bigger now.
yeah. Like I said, Timberland did the same thing.
Actor did the similar thing. Like, remember My Name's Earl, the fat
Yep.
dumb brother?
Yeah.
He is absolutely jacked now.
Well, that's
Hey,
like
Customs, I met you. What's up, man? Happy Father's Day.
that's like what's his name too, the fat dude from Varsity Blues.
That's the same
Oh
dude.
yeah, he's slimmed down a lot.
Yeah.
That's the same dude.
Oh, it is the same dude.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. Well, god dang.
I think it is. I think he played a lot of football movies.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he played in Remember the Titans.
They haven't made a good high school football movie in a while.
No, we haven't had any. Now that you said it, we're gonna get some terrible reboot.
Last thing I saw was The Express. That was actually a pretty good movie.
I remember when I was a kid growing up, it was always what was that one movie shoot that everybody was watching? The Program.
Yeah.
The Program was like the pinnacle for like high school, college style football, and then after that, it was like Varsity Blues and some of the other ones.
Don't forget Rudy.
I'm working on
I can't forget Rudy.
DCUC Prime. I'm working on the torso, fixing up the armor.
You guys remember that scene in not Varsity, in the Program, where they went to lie down on the freeway on the.
Also have another Outman one working on too.
Oh yeah, on the line of the road.
Yeah, and then the very opening weekend of the movie, a bunch of students went out and did that and got run over, so they had to delete that scene from the movie.
Oh, I remember that.
Jesus, kids are so stupid these days.
Because they
Oh,
weren't.
man, that was like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's still these days.
Yeah, all it takes is that one kid to watch that old movie today, and some kids will be lining up on the damn line.
Seeing how they eat Tide Pods.
I know.
Jesus. Tide Pods, fucking doing the cinnamon shots.
No, you know what? What you just said. There's no way. Even if they did show that today in the Program, if they put that scene back in, there's no way kids would go and do that because that would require leaving the house.
Good point.
They don't like leaving the house anymore.
That is a good point.
That's
You
true.
want me
They'll
to
just
socialize? No.
You know what? They'll do it on a computer game or something like that.
yeah, they're doing the backyard, and they have their little kid brothers come with the Power Wheels and try to avoid them.
Hey, hold on. To our audience who is homebound and don't like leaving, we appreciate you and thank you very much for your time. And this is not pertaining to you.
No, sir. Hey. I'm surprised to catch Custom Match. I think he's said he's usually at his in-laws' house when we're doing the show and he's on the way back. Or he does he's West Coast time. And he does a Wednesday. It's 12 a.m. Eastern time, but
yeah.
So I've caught it quite a few times, and he's the one that showed that really cool tutorial how to mod that the old Marvel Legends female necks.
Oh, that's where you got that from?
Yeah.
Hey, shoot him an appreciation from me because that helped me do a couple of them.
He's in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh, appreciate it, brother. This is the Gobi saying thank you.
You talk about that mod where you just cut off the ball peg and then drill in a little bit so you can get the gap, and then use the double ball peg.
Yep. This one here.
Oh. I guess it would help if you guys could actually see what the crap I'm doing.
I got clay all over my hands now. I'm trying not to ruin what I'm working on.
I'm doing brush cleaning. By the way, that Winsor Newton's amazing, and my airbrush is like crystal clear. I let it sit for a day. Dude, it tore out everything.
Good deal.
Just don't let it sit on your plastics like that.
Yeah, I learned that lesson just a minute ago because I used one of my scraping tools and it completely ate through it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get a lot of once you cut the ball joint off and put that modern style double ball peg, you get a ton of movement out of the older classic females.
But to be fair, now I'm wondering if I use this Winsor Newton on like a Marble Legend. I'm wanting to paint to just pit up the plastic a little bit so the paint grips better without sanding. I wonder if I can chemically sand.
I've used it to smooth, like where I've half sanded and smooth stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You just take a Q-tip, rub it down a little bit, and you can actually smooth down the roughness of your sanding.
Oh, okay.
It's or if you crack the torso and you glue it back together and you sand your seams, you can actually use the Winsor Newton and start smoothing that down a little bit.
Really? Okay. I'll be using that now. See, the more you know.
Winsor Newton sales are going to start going through the roof. They're going to owe you some royalty checks.
Well, I actually, funny you mentioned that. I actually spent the day. It's one of the few things I did today. Just set up affiliate links and on that one. So if you buy any, go find my video on that one.
TN4. Well, gents, I hate to run, but my wife is going out of town as of tomorrow. So I got to spend some time with her. Otherwise, I'll die.
You already got injured once. You don't need to get another injury.
Yeah, basically. Especially not wife induced. Those hurt your soul.
Yeah, my buddy Jason commissioned, he's bought those Hulk heads for me and him. Not really commissioned, it's just me helping my buddy out. He's the one talking about Winsor Newton.
Well, appreciate him.
Commission.
You guys take it easy. I'll holler at you. I'll see you next time.
Take care.
Have a good one, man.
Right. Have a good one, man.
So is this another regular prime, or which prime is this you're working on?
This is the first form prime. It's for using a DCUC this Despero body. It was my original concept back before they made the Caliban. I started getting parts together years ago to build the prime, and then when Caliban came out, I kind of scrapped that, and I still had the parts. I was like, man, that'd be kind of cool just to go back and build the prime I originally was wanting to do just for nostalgia type custom.
Right.
And then I went back and I got it finished, tore it apart because I didn't like some of the paint rub areas. DCUC figures are pain in the butt, the tolerance, the clearance, I mean.
I hate having to shave down parts too far down because then it kind of breaks it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I had that problem with like some of the, the disc joints. It's like, doesn't seem like there's enough clearance. So sometimes I'll just go through and with an X-Acto knife and I'll just like trim out some of the plastic and then go past the disc and dig in a little bit and see if I can clear out some of the plastic on the interior.
I do so love chemically treating the fabric. It's the best part. Devils are in the details, right?
Yep.
Exactly.
These are those cheap emery boards. They come in handy about just sanding like joints and stuff.
I got a few of those. I just rarely ever use them.
Yeah, I got quite a few as well. Although luckily with my fabric work, I haven't had to do a lot of paint.
With the with the what you even they do like a summer swap. It used to happen on the Foosh. Now it happens on Instagram. Customizers they do like a kind of like a blind bag swap thing. You get like a swap with other customizers.
Yeah.
And they start doing some reveals. It's really cool to get to see some of the stuff's like off the wall. You wouldn't have thought like, hey, somebody made a custom of that.
Yeah, look at the cape I made.
Oh, that's
For
sweet.
someone very special.
That is sweet.
Nice.
There's only 3 errors.
3.
Yeah, only 3.
You need to make it 4 or maybe even number.
Well, I got to where I was chasing them, and I made one a little bit worse. So I had 2, and then I had 3.
Well, that's kind of like what we were talking about before the stream started. It's like I've ruined things chasing like something I see, and I've gotten a little better about stopping and not ruin things. I still do it time to time. Well, this prime was probably fine too. I've tore it apart and redoing it. Yeah, that looks good.
Warpath.
Yeah, you said calf link on that thing, right? Oh Lord.
What do you do to fill in like the gap on where you take the tassels off the boots?
I used sculpt. Although to keep it from like drying, I just would twist it.
Okay.
Keep it from sticking. And the stuff doesn't do too good of a job of adhering to the polypropylene. So even if, I'd rotate every 4 or 5 hours until it was hard. And then I left it overnight and it was kind of like stuck to it, but, put a pressure on it and it come loose. You can't handle that torque. I hate to keep asking over and over and over again.
Oh, what's that?
But it wasn't its calf link, right? You want it to like just below the knees?
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff kicking around in my head, and once I have more than 4 projects, it's hard to keep all of it straight. I had a guy commission a Assassin's Creed.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's like this, it's real piratey looking, and it's blue with a shirt, vest, like pre-length pants, because of the boots. And while it looks really good, I hope I do really good on it. I'm excited to try.
Yeah, that Assassin's Creed, that'd be really complicated.
Yeah, I think it's like 5 layers. I told him, I was like, dude, it's gonna have to be something. I know he looks buff, but it's gonna have to be something like really, really thin.
Start with a thin figure, and the costume's going to add the buffness to it.
Yeah, because I was, when anything over 3 layers, it's gonna look pudgy.
Well, every time I see a suit over those Warpath bodies you do, my brain's, that's a Caliban. I don't know why, but it does. Adds just enough bulk to it where my brain thinks it's a Caliban.
And I got another bodysuit guy. I want another bodysuit, but it needs to be made out of cotton instead of spandex.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. I want to try and see how that'll turn out. If it falls through, I might just do it on my own just to see how it looks.
Yeah. I've been casting molds of some the Hulk heads and pit heads. I got some resin should be coming in next day or two.
I think I'm gonna make this cape out of spandex.
Okay.
Because it's just not wanting to
lay over the shoulders as well.
Do the old Parker pleated up thing. I don't think I have any. Oh, of course I do. It's right here in this box of scraps that I hoard because I just can't throw it away because maybe one day I'll be able to use it.
Well, I understand completely. I do the same thing.
See, I mean, look at the drape on that. You can't beat that.
Yeah, that looks great.
Yeah, that's nice.
Let me blow your screen up.
Well, you put the cotton on there, and it's kind of like, it wants to. What does the Robo say? It wants to road cone.
Yep. I do like the spandex drape. That's nice.
The only problem is all of it looks a certain way, and there's no way to get away from the crazy way it looks.
Maybe like we're two kind of cape help with the draping. They're like back to full screen. Add the second color, like maybe like we're below the shoulder or something, where the gray would be on the front, around the clavicle and meeting between the pecs, and the red would be back here where it would drape real soft. Would that work, or is that I'm just making stupid stuff up? Am I thinking right, or like we're add the second color like through here down where it's on the inside of the cape, and where it drapes the gray is what's shown on the front.
Oh, I have gray spandex, bro.
No, I was just saying, like with drapes over, if the doubled up material, I don't know how the spandex does, like cotton. You said, well, it's like a traffic coning. If you double up the layers, would it be better to have a single layer on the front or double layer? I'm just talking about stuff I don't even know. I don't know anything about sewing. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, no. When you double layer, you always want to start the double layer off of the neck.
Okay.
So when it fits only the one layer is on the neck.
Gotcha.
Some people do double. If it's all one color, a lot of people will do the whole way through. But the only time I do it the whole way through is if it has like a hood or something like that on it.
Gotcha.
In this case, this is all one layer, which is the reason you can like see through it.
Oh yeah.
But you can't tell because of the tape I got running around it. I got this from Cosmic. And he double layers everything. Oh, sorry. He likes to double layer everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. It looks good. All of his stuff looks good. He used a vinyl, like a heat transfer plastic.
Oh, for the edges.
For the edges, yeah.
Okay, cool.
But all of his, I highly recommend his stuff too. His stuff is like really good. He uses a stiff wire, probably in the 2022 area. About what I run. There's this guy, I think it's like Scotimus. He's in Europe. His sewing is some of the best, but he uses like 25 to 30 gauge wire.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the weight of the fabric will, oh no, the weight of the fabric will bend the wire. I wound up and reinforced one of the capes that I had gotten from him. I try to buy from everybody, not to critique what they do, but like to see the competition, because if I'm not putting out a product that's even in the same baseball game as them, then I need to keep practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I always like to try to check out other people's stuff just to get ideas.
And plus, it's not overly expensive. But to get fabric like the cotton to lay down, you usually have to run a wire, like not just around the edges, but in through the like put a pleat in it, like that, and then have the wire run through the pleat. That way you can bend it over the shoulder. But when you start doing things like that, the wire tends to want to poke through the fabric and cause problems. It's really hard to get it to stay. And then if you do the fancy seam sew to sew the wire in with thread, then you have this like 1/4 inch seam on the edge of everything, as opposed to just a straight seam. I mean, does it hold better? Yeah, but it doesn't look the best. And I guess just like everything, it's a lot of give and take.
Custom actually was working on a siren head not too long ago, replacement head for her, and he was doing red hair too. I was telling him about the gold, adding a little bit of gold to your orange adds like the highlights, and I love how that does with red hair.
Yeah, that hair piece you got there for was that your electrocute?
Yep.
Yeah, that's. I love the way I like the color. The color just looks amazing.
The color, the sculpt, everything about this piece here. It's like, I wish it was easy to get. Is but WWE basic Eve figure.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got to be a pricey figure now.
Yeah.
So.
Unfortunately, all of them have gotten pricey.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I was watching this TV show. I think it was like Angel, which is like a spinoff of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh yeah.
And he, he's old. He's like 400 years old, and he's like, "I'm not cheap. I'm just old. I remember when ale cost a quarter and the bar winch." He's like, "Everything is so expensive now." And with these like 3 rounds of inflation this year, I'm like, everything is so expensive now.
Tell me that. Yes, preach it.
Starting to really feel like my dad. I mean, I see his ass every time I look in the mirror. So
Yeah.
It don't help
might as well act like him.
It don't help too if inflation's already gone up when you're getting some price increases like that are completely unjustified. It really is discouraging collecting. It's like Valverse is keeping his stuff at $32.
I'd really like it if 2 rounds of inflation to hit, and then they come in and be like, well, the billionaires made $2 billion less this year instead of they made that was their highest grossing year ever.
Yeah,
that would help me a lot too. I'd like for us all to suffer together, right? If I got it, you got it.
Pretty much. All for one and one for all.
Well, there you go. A big proponent of if I got it, you got it.
Pretty much.
this one.
I hate to cut this thing out 3 times and not even use the.
I got this one. I think it's ready. I'll end up stripping off this red and redoing it red. This colored green is almost like the only problem is it's DCUC, hard plastic, so it couldn't really dye. It wouldn't take dye very well.
It's PVC?
Yep.
Or ABS?
I think it's ABS.
All bent and scratched.
The upper parts are. It's all different materials, so really, it's like this is the ABS. This, yeah, both these are ABS. Then you got the softer down at the knee.
I think that's what, ABT?
Probably.
ABT plastic.
Too bad we ain't got that recycling symbol on these bad boys anywhere. We can tell what the hell it is.
Yeah, I know. Craftman was going over was it Craftman or somebody else was going over whatever different materials? So he's making, I think he was making filaments for one of his printers.
I think it was Craftsman, yeah.
He's going over all the different coating for the plastics.
And he pronounces them all really well too, because half the time I look at those words and I try to say them, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to do it. I'll just let Craftsman do it.
Yeah.
He is a scary smart dude to be playing it off like a bumpkin.
Yep. Yeah, he's a lot smarter than most people will give him credit for. They hear his voice and they're like, oh, he's just some country bumpkin. Man, that guy will run circles around your damn brain if you let him.
Yeah, he will. He talks about things that I have trouble keeping up with, and I'm like, oh, Jesus. But luckily, he explains it in such a way that it's intuitive.
Yeah, he's another one. He doesn't mind sharing.
Yep. He's one of the good ones out there. That's what I like when people share what they know, helps other people.
Yeah, one of the other guys, he used to show tutorials clay ore, but he stopped doing customizing quite a few years back. But he actually would go through the whole paint process, grinding, where to grind, how to grind, how to crack torsos, everything. And then he stopped doing it. I know he got a lot of commissions coming his way back in the day, and he just got tired of it and he just gave it all up.
Yeah, that's why I don't do commissions. So it's I enjoy this as my relaxing hobby. Once I start taking commissions, it'd be too much I already have a job, so
yeah, Yeah, you don't want it to be work.
Yeah, but a lot of these guys.
This is what I'm doing. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was saying a lot of these guys they open up the gates for commissions, and then they end up biting off a little more than they can chew. Because not saying that they're not going to get the work done, but when you got a lot on your plate, and then you all of a sudden you're like, oh, okay, that's it. I got to stop. I'll get to everyone's. You know what I mean? Like you always hear these guys saying this stuff. It's like, you know what? Take on one at a time if that's the case, right? Like
Yeah.
Because what's his name? Kenneth Beams had the same problem. It's like, he had that surgery on his shoulder or whatever it was. I think it was his shoulder. And he couldn't really work that much. And people were just like, when's this coming up? When's this coming up? It's like, how many times has he got to say the guy's, just had shoulder surgery. He's out of commission for a while and he's going to get to you guys as soon as he can.
Yeah. Don't be a dick. He's not doing it on purpose. He's had surgery.
I mean,
it's
even
like CGSM, when I bought that quote from them, it was like a 3-month turnaround, and it was 2 years before I actually got it from them.
Mm-hmm.
And 112 Shop, I've never bought anything from them, but I know that they started struggling really hard. They were getting like way behind. They had years of waiting. And it blows my mind. I try to have like a 2 to 3 week turnaround on stuff.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll wait that extra time, especially if I know it's like a one-man operation. I'll give them, their due because, one person kicking out hundreds of orders, it's not easy.
Yeah, but you shouldn't put yourself in that position, though.
Yeah. That's the thing is, it's like do a limited run, say, hey, I'm putting up 20, and that's all I'm putting up.
I got so many people wanting to buy some Hulk heads, like the painted heads, but I don't mind like casting these shrunken. Well, they're kind of. It's kind of funny. They're enlarged and they're shrunken back down, but not as small as they used to be. Smart Hulk heads. Of course, I resculpted the hair too, so it's unique.
Uh-oh, here we go with another 20 run.
Well, I'm just going to do castings. I'll hook people up some castings of them. Not painting.
Paint it.
I would like to paint one up extra. I need to check with them. Shardamus contacted me about one of these for the Marvel Legends one.
Yeah.
And I'll check with him. He was interested in buying one. I was like, I don't normally sell them, but it's Shardamus, so I'll hook him up for one.
Does he you want a painted one or unpainted?
Paint it. So I'll just redo one for mine.
I've sent stuff to Robo and Wade from Unparalleled Universe, and Just Jay, and while I got mentioned in several of Robo's videos, but nothing from anybody else.
Really?
Yeah,
that's shitty.
Robo seems to be pretty good about how on the play days talking about people sending them stuff.
Oh yeah.
I mean, present company excluded, of course. I've been mentioned more times by with right there than anybody else combined. But I made a pirate Deadpool and sent it to Robo, and he like looked at it on a play day.
Oh, I remember that. I
saw that one.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that was mine. And during that whole Walgreens fiasco with the Iron Man 2020.
Yeah.
And they was like canceling. There's like, oh, there was a problem with your payment. Go fuck yourself. And I wound up and messaged them, and it come to be a problem between they didn't understand how PayPal works. And if they submit an order to PayPal, and after like 30 days, PayPal's is like, okay, well, this is not valid anymore due to the safety of our customer. And then when Walgreens would go in to charge it, PayPal would show them the door, because it was like 7-8 months later. And so that's the reason all the payments got turned around and everybody missed out on that figure. And then all the pre-orders went to the store, and it was just a thing. But I wound up sending an email to them asking them, what happened. And when I got it back, I sent it to Robo because he was waiting on one too. And he wound up reading my email out on one of his. I think it was in a weekly at the end of it.
Mm-hmm. That's a shame we weren't doing these streams right on then, because man, I picked up, I don't know how many of those 2020s I picked up from a bunch of my buddies because they couldn't find them anywhere. In the local Walgreens by me at the time, when they used to carry tons of stuff, I probably picked up about 8 of them in like a week.
Well, I guess I won't be getting some Target exclusives. Pre-ordered those G.I. Joe classified ones through Target, and I use PayPal. And I bet they're going to cancel when they try to charge it. PayPal's going to be nope.
Ooh.
That hurt me. I love Iron Man. He's my favorite. And when I got that canceled because of there was no money there to pay for it, and I was like, man, there's plenty of money there to pay for. Oh man, I was so aggravated at that. Ooh, doggy. And I ain't got a Walgreens up here. It's not like I can just go down the road and there he is. Let's see.
You never ended up getting one then?
Yeah, I wound up the Collectors Alliance. He's this guy on Facebook. And I was chit-chatting with him about it. He's like, oh, it was one of my thing. I'll just send it to you. If you just give me cost of shipping. I was like, shit, yeah, son. There it is right there. So I wound up and got it from him, and I appreciated him.
Oh, you know what, though? That's what this community is supposed to be like, though.
Yeah.
Like, luckily there are quite a few guys when it comes to that. Like, I got the group that I'm in. It's a Canadian, it's a Canadian group, and in that group we got a few guys. We got our own little chat, and these guys all help each other out all the time, right? Like, we're always on the lookout, so it's good to have people like that.
Y'all watch that Nerd Zoic thing?
Yeah.
The guy was talking about he got this buggy full of some random ass G.I. Joe toy, and everybody's like, oh, well, thanks for buying all of them and scalping them things. And he's like, well, I wasn't scalping them. I was buying them from my buds.
Yep. I had something to get mad at me for when I bought the Vipers, the Target exclusive Viper. They had 4, and I bought 4. They had, because it's a troop builder. It's for my collection. And it's not scalping. I ended up hooking up a buddy of mine with one of them, so I ended up just getting 3.
Now he did buy them to resell them. He did resell them at cost, as far as he says, as far as I understand. But at the end of the day, it's I don't see it as fair because he's procuring them for people that are elsewhere, and like if I live in the same area as him and I'm trying to buy it too, if I'm not part of that group and I don't message him, then he bought the store out. I'm out because I'm not in his little clique.
Yeah.
He started his own store, didn't he?
Oh yeah, no, it was just some random guy that he was reading about in the Facebook groups.
Oh, okay. Because I know Nerd Zoic, I watch him from time to time.
Yeah, I watch. It's like I used to watch all of his videos, but now it's just like every now and then he comes up with one. I do hate that his shit flooded out though. That is a tragedy, and I hate that for him.
Yep.
Well,
no one deserves shit like that.
No.
Lose everything, man. I've done that twice, and that is not cool.
Yeah, I had a house fire we had a house fire back in 99. I lost a bunch of stuff.
I used to be a little more prone to buy from like the smaller people that were up and coming, trying to start their own stores. Like there used to be a Space Monkey, but I don't know whatever happened to him. I don't think he sells anymore.
I used to, man. I used to. And you remember DCI?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty friendly with him, and I bought almost all of my Transformers through him. And I lost close to $200 when all them shenanigans went down.
Yeah.
And then there was this other guy. I can't remember who it was, what his name was, but his like wife died, and I almost lost another $100-something because of lost product. But he wound up and refunded me. It was almost a year later, but I did get my money back. But I want to do the little guys, but I'm scared. You know, there's a lot of money wrapped up in this, and if I miss out, then I miss out. I'm not going to be able to pay for it twice. You know.
Exactly. That's the only bad thing. I mean, I prefer doing small vendors, but you know, you never know what's going to go wrong there.
Roll your dice.
You don't have the guarantee like with Big Bad Toy Store and Big
Brian over at the Prime.
Yeah, Chosen Prime is great too. They got great customer service.
I've never had a problem with Dorkside yet, but I've been hearing rumblings though.
Yeah, it's back and forth. I mean, it's like everybody's got different opinions. Some people love them, some people hate them. I haven't ordered from them in about a year and a half, but I mean, everything that I ordered from them, I got pretty much on time, and you know, no complaints.
I'm a little annoyed with them. I made an order during that sale I sent you guys links to.
Yep.
They haven't shipped my stuff yet.
Really? That was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, that was about, I think it was Wednesday or something like that. Tuesday or Wednesday when you hit me up on the sale.
Yeah, I made my order that day or the following morning.
I had a guy buy something for me, and I haven't shipped it yet, but he bought it on Friday, and I had to work Saturday and Sunday. Yesterday and today, rather. And tomorrow, everything's closed. Yep. I promised him that I was going to mail it Monday, but I guess I lied to his ass.
I had some dude get mad I didn't ship something other. He paid for it. What was it? He bought it on a Friday night. He didn't pay for it until after the post office closed on Saturday. And then he sent me a message on Monday. Why didn't you ship my stuff?
Wow.
And that Monday was a holiday.
Yeah.
It's like, the post office is closed, dummy.
Because money talks and bullshit walks.
I don't have the power to. What's going on and what y'all working on tonight?
You want me to ship in a timely fashion, you're going to have to pay me in a timely fashion.
Yeah. The stuff got flooded in there, so I could salvage, but we could. Basically, was giving figs away. He had an open box sale, which is ridiculous. Bought a few things.
Yeah, I really hate that for that guy.
It's been a few weeks. Hope all is well, Collector Express. But welcome back. It's been doing all right. I got tomorrow off. That means I can't ship the giveaway figure till Tuesday. I let them know too.
Yeah, these new holidays, man. I mean, I love it. I love new holidays. I love getting paid almost $50 an hour while I'm at work during a holiday, and I love that there are we're up to 9 now in a year.
Something like that, yeah. I didn't even realize that Juneteenth was a federal recognized holiday because all my staff kept asking me, you know, like the last couple of months, are like, hey, am I going to get paid for that? I'm like, Juneteenth's not, you know, registered as a federal holiday. And then all of a sudden I went back. I was like, let me just check. And I went back into the corporate structure and I checked and I was like, well, let me call everybody back. And all of a sudden everybody wanted to work that damn day, even everybody that was off.
Yeah. Well, it was just recently, like last year before, they got recognized as a federal holiday.
The year before last, it was recognized as a holiday, like executive order, and then last year it became an official federal holiday. According to the Defense Logistic Agency, the people that I work for.
to be politically correct, we lost.
Government contractor.
I used to get a 4-day weekend with around Martin Luther King's Day. Virginia used to have a holiday called Lee Jackson Day. Consider that to be politically correct.
Robert E. Lee's birthday, right?
Yep, Stonewall Jackson and Robert E. Lee. So that would be politically incorrect now. So we lost. See, we would get the Friday was Lee Jackson Day, then the Monday would be Martin Luther King Day. So we'd get a 4-day weekend for staff. So they took our Lee Jackson Day and gave us Election Day as a holiday. It's like, that's not a holiday.
Man, I get my son off of school for Election Day. I was like, come on now.
Yeah,
I got to work.
I remember when I was working for NATO up in Italy, since
yeah.
I was working with NATO, every single holiday for every single NATO nation we got off.
Yeah,
I never had so many holidays in my damn life.
Wow.
I mean, for the Canadians, the French, Germans, the Croatians, the Latvians, you know, you name it, everybody. It's like the Italians, whatever holiday was going on, we had it.
Yeah, when I was in the Army, we would always have to stand in formation, and he would ask random soldiers in the formation what the holiday was. And if they didn't get the holiday right, everybody worked it.
Oh, man.
He said, if you don't know what we celebrating, if you don't know why you got the day off, you don't get the day off.
Man, that's rough.
It only fell apart twice in the 3 years I was there.
Man, everybody should get together and be like, hey, do you know what the hell this is about?
That's exactly what, like, before formation, we was all huddled up out there. He's like, hey, you know, today's Martin Luther King's birthday. You know, today's President's Day is Labor Day, motherfucker. Come on now. Don't you forget it. He might call on you.
Man, I would have had cliff notes there for everybody here. Read this shit.
I'll answer what Dragon Eyes was asking what I'm working on. I'm working on redoing a Prime custom deal using a DCE body. I didn't clearance the joints properly enough. I've kind of did it in a rush too. So
I'm working on a kind of like a late feudal Japan samurai suit for a beast, a cape for Warpath here, and a suit and tie for Mr. Kong back there. I also have a bodysuit for Spider-Man. And I have to finish this cape as well.
After I get done with this too, I might try to get some work on another Blackheart.
A lot of things going on right now.
I was last night after the stream, and Hulk Smash was talking on the phone, and I realized, oh crap, I didn't set up the WIP IT Sunday stream. I usually do that around Wednesday or Thursday. I guess where I did the impromptu Monday stream, it kind of messed me up, and doing the live stream last night. It's like, I already got all that stuff set up. It's like, nope.
And
Remember, guys, to clean your scissors.
And you didn't forget your outro last night.
Hey, Modesto, these guys were just mentioning what they're working on. I said, me and you are working on a buzz.
Oh, yeah. I'm all out of beer, man. I switched to scotch.
I wish I was working on a buzz, but I don't have anything to drink currently.
I'm going to do. I'm going to
Happy Father's Day.
Another customizer liked the idea of this, and he was inspired by my original Blackheart. He did something different. I did like a fixed position for the tail.
Mm-hmm.
On the original one, he did something different, which I'm going to copy too. He put a Robotech joint in the waist
Oh.
of the tail. That way you can pitch it up and down.
Oh, there you go.
And plus, it should rotate. If I got the right size Robotech, I got a bag of them. We're talking about the Spinneret white torso.
Is that the Dazzler body?
Yeah, that's the Dazzler here, and then it's the White Widow on here.
The White Widow and Disco Dazzler.
The White Widow should have been used the Dazzler torso.
He's the Disco Dazzler to put roller skates on Iron Man. When they gave out that 80th Iron Man, I was like, I can't pass that up.
Which body are you using for the Blackheart?
It's the movie Venom.
Oh, okay. That's a good body for it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty versatile body. You can use it for pretty much a lot of different damn pieces. Is that the one you took all the Tampa graphs off and everything in your video?
That is the one. It's been backburnered for a while.
Were the veins just tampoed on, or were they elevated in the sculpt too?
No, elevated in the sculpt too.
They're elevated sculpt, but they didn't hit them too well. So.
Yeah.
Depending on what character you're doing, you may have to sand them down, but sanding down veins ain't too hard.
Hey, Sequoia. I was going to ask about that because there's a bunch of Robotech joints for customizing. Yeah, back in the day, you could get the bags of them on eBay. Now you got to buy them one at a time.
I got a sprue, and it's got a bunch of them on there, but you have to assemble them. Oh, here it is right here.
Oh yeah, I've got some of those. Those I used several of those to fix the old NECA aliens when the hip joints break.
Oh, fuck. Sorry, I knocked over Puck.
Yeah, I had those old early generation NECA aliens. The hips would always break on them damn things.
And NECA, it's only been in this last year that they've actually been making anything worth buying. Excuse my French.
They definitely made some improvements.
It was just always so disappointing, you know? I mean, yeah, it looks nice, and yeah, the paint and sculpt is there, but that's it. If you want anything else other than to look at that thing, it's not there. It's not there for you.
Yeah.
But I have more NECA figures now than I've ever had in my life.
Well,
but basically, I just have Goliath and the Phantom.
They've been killing it with the gargoyles.
I got to get a puppy, a Bronx, and a Demona. I got a Demona pre-ordered, but I need to get a Bronx.
Yeah, those capes are pretty. The Drake capes look so cool. Come with Bronx.
You taking off?
Do what now?
Are you taking off?
Who, me?
Yeah, are you going into the atmosphere there?
Oh. Yeah, a little dribbling. loud was that?
It's not terrible, but it sounds like you're listening to a recording of like a 747 or something.
Right when the engines are kicking in.
Yeah. Sounds like it's really far away or really muffled. I mean, it's loud as hell. How dare you?
Damn.
What is this? A customizers TV show or something? Shit. I thought we was talking about John Panetti. Does anybody watch? Hey! Does anybody watch Toy Galaxy?
Boy,
Oh, I used to watch them all the time.
yeah. I used to watch them. I don't watch a lot of other toy guys too much anymore since I started doing that stuff.
He don't do toys anymore. Not really.
He's doing cartoons and shows and stuff.
Pop culture stuff from the 80s and 90s.
Yep.
Well, he got rid of all his collectibles too, a long time back.
No, he's still got a massive collection of figures. He talks about pruning it and like keeping it interesting for you.
He did a video a few years back. I was talking about selling all his collectibles off. That's what I was thinking. The reason why I thought that.
Yeah.
He's standing in front of a green screen, so what's behind him is not actually there.
Sure. No, he doesn't green screen. All that crap on his shelves, that's all really there. Why are you such a pain in the ass? No, this is good. Look, you gotta get down.
Oh, I'm a cat, so that's my job to be. I had to put mine out before the stream last night. It's like she started coming into my office and started knocking stuff over. It's like, nope. That's when she wants outside. She does that.
No, he just sits in front of the camera.
Anthony's Customs had that same problem with his cat quite a few times.
Yeah.
They want to be involved. They want to be. I'm the only one currently awake in the house, so he needs to be included. I'm obligated to care for him because I brought him into the household.
You brought him into this house. Yeah, my little cat. She was my cousin's. My cousin brought her, and the little cat's about 20 years old or better. So she's set in her ways.
Well, I got old Gary here when he was very much a kitten. He was very small. He fit in the palm of your hand. His mom got run over.
Uh-huh.
He had nowhere to go, and the guy that I work with, he called me. He's like, "Hey, you guys looking for a cat still?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got this one. Come get him." So we did a handoff at a gym. Parking lot. He's been a good cat. He's called Gary because he sounds like that snail on SpongeBob SquarePants. That's exactly what he sounds like. Meow. Meow. Sorry.
The only thing about changing the color of these black heart heads, you got to brush those tendrils before the first coat because there's just so many sprays will not get in there. airbrush or.
Oh, you leaving? Goodbye.
Drum it out again.
You guys ever get burnt out?
Get burnt out on customizing?
All of it. Any of it.
I did for a few years, and I came back to it.
Yep.
I got burnt out on customizing because I was inundated with commissions. You know, at one time I had 15 that I had accepted because I'm a fucking idiot. And then I don't know. I feel like I'm burnt out on buying toys because I haven't bought anything in like 2 months.
Now the buying toy things, I feel that every now and then because it's just, well, especially when they start focusing so much on MCU. I like the comic side.
Yep.
And more classic comic side, 90s back. So when they start doing more modern like characters and stuff, it's like, man, this is just not for me. It's easy to feel the burnout when this stuff you're zero interest in. Especially when, it makes it worse too. Like what pisses you off when they do a bath has nothing to do with the wave of figures, and it's an awesome bath.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean like the Fin Fang Foom one, and it was all Hulk figures? Yeah, that was painful.
Oh, the recent one, the armadillo, awesome bath, but most of the wave is just I don't want it. I ended up having to get it because I wanted the armadillo.
What about the what's his name? Hyde.
That was a cool bath, but I don't know.
What was the wave with Hyde? It didn't really have anything to do with him.
Who was
Oh,
it?
man, what did cover? Oh, that was the Shang-Chi wave, the MCU Shang-Chi wave.
Oh yeah, with the Mr. Hyde. Yeah, that was another one that hurt.
Was it Shang-Chi wave?
Yep, had nothing to do with Mr. Hyde. Has nothing to do with that wave, and he's the build figure.
That is.
I don't know if they'll do a Sabretooth on the animated Venom body.
It's the Warpath.
Oh, you mean the Sabretooth body?
The Sabretooth.
The Omega Red body. It was the Omega Red body.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
Venom on the.
Basically, this Warpath body, right?
Yep.
And I would love to see Sabretooth. When I made that custom Sabretooth for Derek, my paint guy, the guy that does all the head painting and stuff for me.
Yeah.
I put it on the Warpath body. And
Well, it looked fantastic when I bought it out. I remember one of my earlier reviews, I did the Strong Guy wave. That Warpath came in, and I grabbed that Sabretooth head and put on there. I was like, this needs to happen.
I mean, that body's almost made for it. I don't know why they haven't yet. I don't know if they're just like looking for money or.
It's a classic Sabretooth. They put it on the Grim Reaper body.
Yeah.
It looks terrible.
Yeah, you know what? And what have I been saying for the longest time, Jared? I mentioned getting a classic Sabretooth on, actually like an animated Sabretooth, like from the '90s show. I think it looked good on a Caliban body, but that's just me. Like,
he was huge in the cartoon.
Yeah, and I like that look for him. Like, I wouldn't mind putting it on a Caliban body, but even like I said, the Warpath body's great, and even the Age of Apocalypse Sabretooth body.
Yeah. Yesterday we were talking about I want to put the Sabretooth, the animated series one on that that Monster Venom body.
Yeah, even that. I mentioned that too, but I think Caliban's perfect because he's a big boy, but he's not like oversized. But I've seen Sabretooth on the Monster Venom body.
Uh-huh.
I've also seen him now that I started mentioning it, and then one of my buddies sent me a picture of a custom of exactly what I was saying on the Caliban body, and it looked great.
Well, the Caliban body's pretty versatile for a lot of big figures.
And yet they have yet to reuse it.
I know.
Hurt my feelings when they put that Null and Venom 2-pack. The Venom is the movie Venom. I just knew they were going to put the Warpath Omega Red body in that 2-pack.
And they end up using the movie Venom, yeah.
Yeah. Now look, a lot of people like that body, and they requested it heavily, and I understand all that. And it was some good fan service, but
Yeah. I've seen Sabretooth built on the movie Venom body too. The texture actually kind of works for Sabretooth as well.
Yep.
I just think it's too tall.
Yeah, it definitely needs something to do with the height. The height is just
he's like
knees down. He's got these big chunky thighs, and the calves down. They're like almost too small.
And even the feet small too.
Yep, the feet are tiny. Of course, these are getting these things.
I mean, I understand that he's all suited up. I promise he's the movie villain body.
Well, they got their options for Sabretooth. Like I said, they can use Warpath, they can use Caliban, they can use
Omega Red.
Egypt Apocalypse. Yeah, Omega Red is the Warpath, right? Same body.
The Apocalypse is a little bit slimmer. Like the Age Apocalypse. He's got a little bit of a slimmer profile. It's shares some parts with Caliban, but it's not 100%. Uses the arms. That's what all it uses from Caliban.
But like I said, the options are there. They can go like so many different ways. But yeah, look at that last one that they just or the next. I don't know. Is it out yet, or is it's coming out? The classic one that looks awful.
Which one? The
2-pack.
2-pack Venom with Null.
No. The Sabretooth.
Oh yeah. It's getting ready to come out. Some people's found it already. That Sabretooth.
That is horrible, man.
It is a horrible figure.
Well, I don't know. It's not. I mean, if you look, it's true to the source material that they're pulling it from, but it's just not. It's just not mind's eye Sabretooth. Now look, I don't have a dog in this fight because I don't do X-Men. I'm primarily Spider-Man, Iron Man, but I don't know. In my mind's eye, Sabretooth is like this very muscular, intimidating.
Yeah.
He's not thin and agile looking.
It's one of the things we were talking about before. They kind of need something between. They need a few more body types.
Yeah.
They don't have enough variation of body types, especially since what they're charging us now. We need something in between the Grim Reaper and Hyperion, and if they want to, it's one of those things too, like that classic Sabretooth, need to be bigger than Grim Reaper, and if they're wanting to do that classic style, smaller than the Hyperion.
They could have just gone with the Vulcan body on that Sabretooth. I think they would have been all right.
Yeah.
I hate the Superion body. The one that Venom is currently on,
oh yeah. Ugh.
I hate that thing. The neck is in the wrong position, and
shoulders are too far forward. It's everything's wrong with it.
It's all borked. I don't like it at all.
The Hercules really should have been what they did the classic Sabretooth on.
Yeah, it's just a little bit big. I mean, if you're going with like the classic, I mean, he was thinner muscled, but I mean, the first, because it was what Iron Fist was the first issue he ever came out on. That was his first appearance. And he was pretty thin, but then by the time he got into like, I think it was X Factor when he was fighting Archangel on the cover, he was a bit beefier.
They had to send that boy to the gym to get him on the level.
Yeah, because I don't know, by the time he hit the 90s, man, he blew up in size. He was huge.
Yeah, that's the way I remember him.
Yeah, because I remember him being tiny, but then, I mean, he was a here and there character. He wasn't really all that popular. And then once he had like the X-Men, the Marauders, he was part of the Marauders. That's when he started gaining a little bit of notoriety. And then after that, hit the rivalry with Wolverine. That's what cast him up into the light. And then he got his own series, and that's when he had Birdie with him. And he was a monster. He was probably like 3 times the size he was when he initially came out.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he was with Birdie, he was huge.
Yeah.
Massive. I just made a birdie the other day. I shipped it on Thursday, I think.
That's a character they should bring out. Bring a 2-pack of like Sabretooth and Birdie. I'll pick it up definitely.
Way they're doing that, probably the only way they'll give us the Sabretooth we want is in a 2-pack.
Charging $70 for it.
I mean, I don't mind that new Sabretooth. I just do not like that head sculpt. He looks really weird with that goofy freaking smile.
Yeah.
But some customers already started making classic head sculpts from like the late 70s, early 80s style, and there's some really nice ones out there already.
Oh, that good place. They got the Lord Pumpkinhead, Big Head Studios Customs.
Mm-hmm.
They had some really cool heads for the Angry Apocalypse Sabretooth, that body. So I haven't checked in with them, but they're going to make some for the classic one too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of people casting on for that classic one because that classic head, it's all wrong.
Yeah, it don't even recognize it. I don't recognize it even as Sabretooth. It's just so weird looking.
He looks like like the Creeper or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like a Joker's redhead stepchild or something.
Oh, you make what was it, the amalgam with DC and Marvel mixed, the hyena.
Yeah.
Joker and Sabretooth got mixed together.
Yep. Well, I mean, I've got it in order, but I'm just not happy with the head sculpt. I can deal with the body, the head sculpt I can't deal with.
I mainly ordered it for the Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, well, you know me, I'm strictly collect X-Men stuff, so that and anything War Machine I'm good with too.
We're getting
Hey, me too, bro.
See, that one's the Reaver Build-A-Figure wave, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Bone Breaker.
Bone Breaker.
Yeah.
I don't know why they just don't make a villains line set and just make. They could have just did all the Reavers and had Bone Breaker as the damn Build-A-Figure.
Yeah.
Because you already got Lady Deathstrike, so you already got one of the Reavers out of the way, so you don't even got to reissue her. You could just do like Pretty Boy. They really need to do Skullbuster again because I mean, he's too big. It's the wrong body. It's not the right jacket and everything else. Because one arm is supposed to be a leather jacket side, and the only thing I think that was accurate to that vest that he had on was that circular disc plate that was on one side. That's accurate to the comic source.
I dig those suit bodies you've been doing. I saw with on the movie Venom body. That was good. Looked great.
Oh, those are just cast off things that I messed up on that I hoard because I just don't throw anything away. Like, the whole pants here that I didn't throw away, and the vest here that I messed up on and didn't throw away, and
put it in
you take that messed up vest and turn it into a Solomon Grundy shirt.
There you
go. But
Grundy don't need a fancy vest.
Take all the extras and put them in the parts, man.
What's the best Superman figure out there?
What's that one? The Hush. I wish it was just a little bit bigger.
Yep.
The articulation's good. I'm hoping they redo that one a little bit since they're doing the Return of Superman in the darker. My connection is driving me crazy. I keep dropping out. But, I was saying, I hope they redo that one with the more vibrant colors. When he came after Return of Superman, we had the darker blue, brighter reds. Of course, he had the mullet head too.
He did come back with a mullet after he, came back.
He kept that for a long time, and he kept it right up until the wedding.
What happened? What happened in the '90s? Stays in the 90s.
He came back as beefed up.
The '90s are Las Vegas.
Yeah, Superman had that mullet, so Billy Ray Cyrus went out.
Yeah, he was a beefed up Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, icky bricky kryptonite.
Oh, his mother.
Yeah, the writing got really lazy though. I ended up dropping Superman for a while. What ticked me off, one of the things they did, like when he lost his powers right before, they did like almost a year worth of issues with him no powers.
Oh, jeez.
And they didn't really explain why. Basically, was it Mentron or somebody come up and said, "Oh, you're just out of phase," and he just like waved like a mother box and fixed it. So that's when he became like the energy Superman too, I think.
Oh yeah, that horrible Superman red and blue.
Yeah.
Over in him.
Superman red, Superman blue.
Yeah, they were struggling for storylines then.
Yeah.
Pretty way to go about rehashing that story.
Well, and also too, they had like he was trying to make still like put the impression of being Superman. He didn't have powers. The Legion of Superheroes showed up. Didn't give him a flight ring. He's got one in the Fortress of Solitude, but he couldn't get in there because he didn't have his powers. Why did not give him a Legion ring where he could at least put the impression in that he still had his powers? It's like, do you not think these things through?
Yeah, that or the Legion with a bunch of dicks.
They'll just fix it with the next crisis.
That's always one of the things I always considered Doomsday's power was. When Doomsday showed up, everybody forgot how to use their powers.
Yeah.
Doomsday had plot armor.
Yep. Heavy plot armor.
Big old plot armor. My phone just blacked out. I got 5% left on my battery.
Ooh. Well, we can call her at night if you guys are call it early night. We don't have to go to 3 hours.
Yep. We're at 2 now, 2:19.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate everyone to come out and hang out. So I always look forward to
it. Pants, bro.
Well, it actually works out pretty good, like where he's transformed back with a little baggy.
I tell you what, Bruce Banner is built like a brick outhouse. Look at that.
He gets some of the residual from being the Hulk.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's right.
They did have that storyline in the Hulk series at one time where Bruce could actually tap into the strength of the Hulk. He didn't have to Hulk out.
Huh.
That'd be somebody you wouldn't want to mess with.
That's kind of like pulling up next to a Honda Civic that's been tweaked out to the nines, and it just looks like a random nothing car.
You got a twin
Sleeper.
turbo LS under the hood.
Yeah, it's got an LS7. It's a sleeper.
We don't drag race anymore because gas is $6 a gallon.
Yeah.
You drag race on foot now.
Need to get Flintstone powers.
I don't know. The idiots in Brampton are still going from one red light to another. And meanwhile,
You know, my first car was a Trans Am 86, and it had a 3-speed transmission with a 1969 Corvette 350 in it.
oh jeez.
And my mom said, you know, that thing is beautiful and it's fast and it'll pass everything on the road except a gas station.
Yeah.
Yep.
But that, man, get back then, gas was 75 cents a gallon.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yes, I miss those days.
That's for the expensive stuff, man. I remember thinking to myself, why am I putting this overly expensive high octane gas in this car? I should just burn the cheap stuff.
If it high compression, I can tell you why. Spark knock.
Yeah, it was still carbureted at that time.
I used to have a 71 Mark III Lincoln with the 460 interceptor. From the factory had like, I think it was 12 to 1 or 13 to 1 compression from 1971.
Jesus.
So if you try to put anything except for high test in it, it's spark knock like crazy.
Make everything smell good around it. Ain't nothing better than that burnt atmosphere, man. It smells great.
I want to use the Metals Superman, the modified chain link belt.
Oh, I do have this Superman. Hang on. Hold on. Oh, where is it? Oh Lord. Here it is.
So the cat took it.
That motherfucker better not have. So I got this Superman. It's like their first run as Superman, with the single elbows.
Oh yeah.
And I thought, well, you know what? I'm gonna cut him down. Make him 6 inches. He's almost 6-inch figure, because Marvel Legends are a little big.
Yeah, Marvel Legends are 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, I could just cut him down, maybe even just get this ankle, sink it into his foot and then up into his calf to the point where you can't see the joint. And that should probably be enough to bring him down to what size he needs to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or what size I want him to be. All I have succeeded in doing is making so that the foot won't sit in the
O-rings.
Yeah.
Get me to it.
Man, I come back in here, I was so excited, and I was like, oh. It don't even sit in there anymore. It won't even friction in there. It just falls right out.
What I've done too, for O-rings, I'll take like a rounded Dremel bit, like little bell bits. I'll run it into like a ball socket, like a neck socket. Get to the depth I want, I just hold it there, let the plastic get hot, and it basically melts around the socket. Then take it off and stick it on the ball joint. What you might be able to do is heat that up and just let it get melted around the bell bit. Take it out and then stick the ankles back into it.
I don't know. I still, it's not receding into it as much as I want to. So, and I done drilled to the blue.
Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to get some O-rings.
That hand drill just get away from you sometimes. It just jumps out there and it's just like, ah.
Yeah.
Even the Dremel does too. I've have stuff sling across the room. I was like, where the hell did I go?
I can't tell you how many times I've shot shit across. I lost a hand. I have moved every single piece of furniture out of this room and put it back looking for a hand to one of the new Kickstarter Spawn. It's just gone. It shot that thing straight into the carpet monster's mouth.
One thing that I've found with my displays, I will never understand the logic on it. When stuff tumbles off my shelves, you think when it hits the floor, it's going to bounce forward. No, it bounces backward and goes under the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had things bounce and land on a shelf and then take me a year to find it. And the only reason I found it is because I moved out of the room, and when I picked the shelf up, it slid off the shelf.
Yep. I had a buddy of mine, he dropped one of those little mini Atom figures, little figurines that come with another figure. He looked and looked. He searched his entire house. I told him, look behind your shelf. And that's where it was at.
Yeah. Feels it.
Now, one thing I do like with talking about like the Hyperion body, not liking it. The young Thor, that new torso they came with, like the young Thor, it looks so much better than the standard Hyperion torso. But yet they don't use this all the time. They keep using the Hyperion. Retire the Hyperion, switch to this piece. The rest of the parts are all Hyperion too, but you got a much better looking chest.
They should know that if they ever use that Hyperion body, they have disappointed me.
They disappointed a lot of people when they use that. I was really disappointed with the Thunderstrike. That figure.
Yeah, they had a lot of issues.
Yeah, it had lots of QC issues. Like on if you take the vest off, I had to go through 3 of them to get a good one. Kept sending them back and get them back, and like there's like big molding defects like on the back underneath the vest.
Yep.
And even the good ones I got, like it's still got the swirls in the plastic. When I first looked at it, I thought they were using the Hyperion legs. They retooled those legs, but they made them worse. They made them pinless. They made the knees too small, so it looks like it's like teeny tiny little knee on a big thigh and giant misshapen lower calves. It's a terrible sculpt.
He's sitting on my ForceWorks shelf, and the main problem that I have is that he is yelling and screaming and fighting, and I just have all like 20 guardsmen standing around arresting the villain that they were fighting, in the scene, the shelf presence, whatever. So I have him yelling at one of the guardsmen because that's all he's.
Yeah, I hate having only a yelling head sculpt, like especially when it's not really doing anything for the characters. Like that has nothing to do with his powers, nothing. And I don't think a Thunderstrike just always being screaming at people.
No, he was not a Guy Gardner.
No.
Let's wait till they bring out the Banshee figure and he doesn't have a screaming head sculpt just like Siren.
Well, they'll do one a Banshee without a screaming head, just like Siren. To get the screaming heads, they'll do a 2-pack Banshee 2-pack in the blue and yellow cuts.
Yep.
With a screaming head that a skin tone don't match.
Yep.
Alternate hips.
Like they made 2 Scarlet Spiders, and the second one was more what I like, with the dark red and the dark blue, but then you couldn't use the other hands because it was a light red.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't the one like the light red was just a flat paint, and then the other one was the darker red had more of a metallic in it?
Yeah, more metallic looking.
Yeah, I like the metallic look one better.
Same. But I keep the regular one because, he's got the wall crawling hands and the web shooting hands and the fisty fists.
Mm-hmm.
So the metallic one, was that part of the retro card?
Yeah, it was a retro, but it wasn't a Spider-Man retro series. It was just a
retro card line.
Retro card.
I guess it's before they started the Spidey retro card.
Yeah, that's right. It's like the second reissue. The first one was the reissue, the Pizza Spider, Captain America, and Wolverine. Yeah, the second one was Hawkeye, Vision.
As old as that retro card wave, that first wave one, they've been showing up at Ross's.
Really?
For $10 a piece.
I can't ever find anything at the Ross's up here. Ross's and the Five Below, they never have anything, and I'm like seeing all these toy hunters going to Ross and Five Below, and they're finding legends all over the place. You can't find a legend at any of these over here.
Yeah, but them assholes, they're going every day. And
Yeah.
I would shoot myself if I had to go to Ross and Five Below every day.
Yeah.
I have legends that are Five Below in years.
I miss Toys R Us.
Oh yeah. Well, Hulk Smash has the advantage. They got them up there in Canada.
Yeah, but they're overpriced now.
Yeah.
They
I don't know. Everything up
They
there, man.
were overpriced. It was like $2 more at Toys R Us than Walmart, but my God, you go there and they have it.
Yeah.
All you see is Raw in the fucking aisle.
Toys R Us, even their prices towards the end were getting kind of ridiculous here.
Yeah, well, we're talking about like for just say a Star Wars black figure, like
Yeah.
$42.99 here.
Holy. That's like
Marvel-
what?
Marvel
That's
Legends, $40, $42.
That's like what? About 28 American? 30
How
American?
How much are you spending on them things regularly?
Well, I don't know. Like they've been going up the past little while. Like normal price that I remember was like $29.99, $30, and then they went up to like $35, $32. Depends where you're going, right? GameStop will have something.
I
For
pre-ordered the Japanese Spider-Man for $30.
Yeah. Well, I was explaining it like this to Jared yesterday. Okay, the new there's that new 2-pack that's coming up, a Negative Man and one of his goons there. Okay, now how much were they gonna charge up there down there?
We're at, what was it yesterday, Jared? 38?
Oh, for the Mr. Negative?
Yeah, is it 38?
No, those are like 60, I think.
60? Okay.
They're either 56 or 59. I can't remember.
I think it's 59, yeah.
$59.99? Was
Yeah.
it? Or was it $49.99?
I'm pretty sure it was in the 50s.
Okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah. For some reason, I don't know why. I was thinking.
We lost Don.
Oh, his phone must have died because he said it was.
He's at 5%. Yeah.
Yeah, we're saying. I don't know why. I'm pretty sure you're saying it was $49.99, but regardless. Okay, like if it was that, and I told you guys it was $79.99 over here, so $80 compared to, because I remember, I'm like that's why I'm pretty sure you said it was $49 because $30. There's no way that's the difference from American to Canadian money.
I'm not even sure what the currency ratio is between ours and Canadian. I don't think it's supposed to be too much.
It's only like $1 something, like $1.20, $1.30. Depends on the day, right? Like
yeah. Depends on the market. I get it. There's a fluctuation on currency all the time. So, but still, I mean, that seems to be a little bit outlandish on the pricing they're giving you guys.
No way. There's no way that $50 American is going to be. It's only going to be like 60 something bucks.
Yeah.
But no, what you guys are paying $50, we're paying $80. That's bullshit.
That's way too freaking much.
$1 is $1.30 Canadian.
Wow, so they're seriously gouging you guys up there.
Right.
They're charging you like an additional $8 to $12.
It's not more, but
yeah, depending on the figure. God, it's like $80 for that box set. That's almost like buying a deluxe box set with 5 figures over here.
No shit. That's the point we're making. That's why I've been selective for the past few years. I'm only getting what I really want. You know what? I'm kind of happy that for most cases the Build-A-Figures haven't been anything that I was too interested in. Like I remember back in the day, you got a wave that you didn't want, but the Build-A-Figure was just so damn cool.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got to do it. I got to buy the whole wave. Yeah. Now, I don't do that shit anymore.
That's one of the reasons why we was talking about like buying fatigue earlier. It's when you start doing that stuff where if they're going to raise prices and do this stuff, make the waves match the entire wave. Like, makes it easier for me to pass on something or make sure I get something if like do an all comic book wave and the bath be comic book. Don't do half the wave comic, half of it MCU.
Yeah, I can't stand when they do that, when they mix and match that. There's no cohesion there.
Yeah,
Because
completely random Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. You're looking at it from a buyer's point of view. They're looking at it from a seller's point of view. Oh,
Well, they need to start looking for the seller's point of view too, though, with their pricing. It's going to cause buyers fatigue. Like, you want to keep doing this stuff? Screw you. To Hasbro, screw Hasbro.
I think you know what though? I still think the majority of fans are gonna accept it.
Oh, there's I hate to say it, there's a lot of collectors are sheep. They're going to keep. Sad to say, they're going. If they keep putting it out, they don't care what they're getting charged. It's not that I can't afford anything. Hell, I got a massive collection of stuff, and I buy it. I like it, but it just costs like some of these sycophants for Hasbro. They're like, "Oh, you're just a poor collector. You're complaining." No, I don't like being ripped off.
Exactly. It's like, it's like having, you get an Avengers wave, and then you get an X-Men figure in it, some random obscure X-Men figure in the wave that doesn't even coincide with any of the characters, have nothing to do with them all. It's just weird. Or having like they kick out an X-Men wave and it's like, oh, we're gonna have Howard the Duck as the Build-A-Figure. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
My personal opinion on what they should do is, if they're going to increase the prices, let us cherry pick, drop the entire Build-A-Figure thing altogether, and just do a deluxe release.
Exactly.
Oh, they've been doing that with previous Build-A-Figures, so we end up getting screwed. You know what I mean? Like, and not only get screwed we're not only getting screwed once, we're getting screwed twice, because a lot of times when they end up releasing it in the deluxe version, you probably get a couple of extra accessories, or it'll be a better paint job or a better look to the character.
Oh, the Rhino just come out.
Yeah.
What drives me nuts is when they actually, like, when they make a figure and then they add a piece to a whole nother figure, like with Archangel when they had the claw arm for Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, you couldn't have just thrown that into the damn thing with the Build-A-Figures thing.
Yeah. Well, Red Onslaught.
Yeah, that's terrible.
2 or 3 waves later, you had to get like the Kitty Pryde if you want to build have the head for an actual real Onslaught.
Yeah.
And I bought that whole wave stupidly, but I got rid of every single figure. My daughter took all the female figures, and my buddies took all the male figures because I didn't want any. All I wanted was the Build-A-Figure. That was it.
Yeah. Yeah, having Onslaught, they was able to make it Red Onslaught with Red Skull, and they stuck it in a Captain America wave.
Well, look at what they did with Ulik.
The who?
Ulik. Ulik the Troll?
Oh, yeah. Almost every figure from that wave has been released, except for Boar.
Yep.
Uh-huh. Now, wasn't he an exclusive for the San Diego Comic-Con?
Yeah, the 5-pack.
Yeah.
That Thor 5-pack, every figure in that wave has been basically almost pretty much been reissued.
Except for Boar.
With some changes. The Thor is actually, the young Thor uses almost every part from the Thor from that wave. They just don't have the robotic arm, And the head on that Thor, though, from that 5-pack is awful.
Yeah. And then you got the Jane Foster.
Yeah.
She ended up being released with the Ragnarok wave.
Yep.
And then also, what's his name there? That the dark elf there.
Yep. Malik.
Yeah, they did with a lot of characters. Even Magic got released on her own with a couple little changes. Not many changes, but a couple little changes.
Well, I was happy about that because I wanted Magic, but I didn't get that.
It's one of the things too, like where it's got where I don't care about SDC exclusives hardly anymore.
Yeah, they're gonna release it a year or so later. They're gonna re-release it as a single card.
Well, that wave where the art.
Oh, the prison set.
The dark green abomination.
Oh yeah.
almost every figure in that wave except for what's his name, the Knight guy,
Oh,
Dead Knight or something.
Dreadnought,
Dreadnought.
something like that.
Yeah.
But every wave a figure in that wave's been reissued except for that one.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't doubt he'll probably get one before too long.
Yeah. Well, you know what? That's what I'm saying though. I wanted the arm. Was it? The one that really got me upset was the Children of Thanos set there, because you know what, that I wanted to buy that set, but after collecting all the figures individually, plus you know what I mean, you had to get the 2-pack with Loki and the names. I'm not even gonna think. It's too late for me to think of names, but you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, you know what? I'm not gonna go out and buy all those figures again just because. And that's gonna be what, the third time they released that Thanos figure, and then another time with the Iron Man. Like, I mean, no way.
Yeah, that Thanos got released so many times.
I think it's 4 times now.
Yeah,
if not more.
Yeah, I know, and you know what? I really wanted that the big guy there, the
Cole Obsidian.
Obsidian Cole, yeah.
Yeah.
I really wanted him.
Which is weird. I don't know why they changed his name for the movie. In the comics, he's Black Dwarf.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what?
Did they think that was a bad name to call somebody Black Dwarf or something?
Well, you want to know something though, because Call Obsidian was actually the name of
the group.
Of the whole group, yeah. So I don't know what they did.
And we have not gotten comic book versions of those characters.
Nope. But now that we said it, they probably will do it.
I would like to see lots of cosmic characters done, but they seem to skip the cosmic. They keep wanting to redo characters they've done 10 times already. Start finishing some teams. Come on.
Yeah. Well, boys, call it a night.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Gonna come again. It seems like we just did that not too long.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me get my brand section back up. And all righty. Well, remember everybody to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we catch y'all next time.
All right. Have a good night, guys.